And away we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Welcome in. It is the first segment of the week. It's welcome in.
It's still welcome back. They were gone for the weekend, so welcome back to the show. I mean,
who are the Marion Franklin Red Devils? Is that your high school?
Yes.
Really? That's a dope shirt.
Thought about repping the high school today.
I like it. That's a good look. Zoe breaking out the vintage look today. The Marion Franklin Red Devils. And by the way, Zoe, the logo of the Red Devils, very 1980s metal album cover.
Yeah,
I like it.
We didn't care for this devil depiction. They did this because it looks less evil, supposedly.
Then what was before it?
Forked.
Like stereotypical traditional
Yeah,
devil.
and he had a pencil mustache.
Yeah,
he had the forked goatee.
That's a great look. Like if you're gonna go with the Devils, lean the heck into it, right?
There was speculation. There was talk during the time when I was a senior about changing the mascot. It's never happened. So, and I've been gone from there for 30 years.
Good on him, because that's a good look.
Yeah,
it's a good look. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. The Rob Brown Show's on your radio. This is the Fan Upstate. Howdy, y'all. Welcome back. Good to have you. It is Monday. We got 5 days of Hall of Fame caliber broadcasts coming your way, and today is likely going to be the strongest of all of them because football was very good this weekend.
It was also very bad this weekend.
For whom?
For some teams that some of us may pull for.
Which direction is Charlotte that I can look at for no?
You could also look at Columbia. I mean, they're kind of almost, well.
You know what? Let's go with that. Let's start with that. Guys, Georgia's going to beat a lot of teams by 40. What did I tell you all last week? You're going to get your ass kicked. You're going to lose by 40. That wasn't a prediction. That was a spoiler alert. You want to know the only part about that game that bothers me? Was that the stands were empty at halftime. Y'all left. You had your feature game to show folks, hey, look, even when things aren't going well, it went from forever to thee until forever to the end of the first half. I'm not bagging on Gamecocks fans.
I've never understood that. So you are not a good fan if your team's getting destroyed and you leave. You're not a good. Explain that to me. How does that make you a bad fan?
I didn't say it makes you a bad fan. What I said is, and what I maintain is this. First and foremost, let me lead off in this discussion, Zoe, this way. I am not the arbiter of fan behavior. I do not pretend.
That happens later on in the day on the show.
I don't pretend to sit in this chair and tell you what you should and should not do as a fan. Okay? It's not my place. But what I can tell you is the results, the consequences, the ramifications of you acting certain ways as a fan. For instance, if you are a grown-up man who goes to college football games and barks at other men, people won't like your fan base. Georgia, all right? If you are a grown dude who barks like a bulldog into the face of another grown dude, you're not a grown dude and nobody likes you.
I'm sure alcohol probably come into play there.
Nope, I've been around Georgia fans. They just bark. 11:30 on a Saturday morning, ain't a bourbon to be seen yet. And stop it, UGA fan. But here's what I'll say about the South Carolina Gamecocks. I personally, Lonzo, thought the pregame festivities looked fantastic on ESPN. Did they not?
They look really good. They did.
Y'all got 12 minutes, which is forever in broadcasting, to put yourself on display. And you did a great job.
And we saw the real reason why Pat McAfee was there, which I speculated already. He's just there to hype up the crowd.
Of course.
Because that's what he does.
Of course.
They didn't need much help.
No, South Carolina was hype. Hype. As I said, the best 7 to 12 minutes before pregame is in Columbia.
All right, Daniel on the stream. By the way, you can watch us on the stream on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on everything just about. You got to go down with the ship, got to stay at least until the start of the 4th. No, you don't. Why? Why do you?
Hang on. Honestly, I'm getting to that. Here's why. In this one case, because I got blasted on Twitter. I bought my ticket. I'll leave when the hell I want. Oh, that's fine. I'm not telling you not to.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you not to. You leave whenever you want to leave. I'm good with that. You're right. You bought the ticket. You leave when you want to leave. That's not the issue. The issue is how you're portrayed. The issue is how you look. You guys had 12 extra minutes before kickoff to make South Carolina look like something special. And I think you did it pregame. Right?
So I get that we talk about the Gamecocks here. We're in South Carolina, but we're going to have the same scrutiny for everyone that Georgia plays if they beat them like that.
They are going to beat everybody like that.
And if other fan bases leave, are we going to have the same scrutiny? That's what I want consistency.
South Carolina had something that nobody else has had so far. Remember, Oregon played Georgia to open up. But that game was in the Atlanta, Georgia Dome, right? The Mercedes-Benz Stadium or whatever it's called. Oregon was not on display that night. Who'd Georgia play last week? Anybody remember? Of course you don't. Nobody cares. South Carolina was at home. Had a chance to put themselves on display. And for the 7 to 10 leading up to kickoff, I should say the 12 leading up to kickoff, you guys look like something special. You guys look like something that if I was a 16, 17-year-old recruit looking to play football, I might go, you know what? The team's not great right now. Georgia's really good, but my goodness, is Willie B an absolute concert. Willie B's out of this world. Look at that place, man. If it had rafters, they'd be falling off right now. That place was rocking. It's not about you doing or not doing whatever the hell you want with the ticket you paid for. I'm good with that. It is this, though. If you are, because right now you're not taking recruits away from Clemson. You're not taking them away from Georgia, right? You have to win if you were South Carolina. You have to win recruiting battles today with North Carolina, with Georgia Tech, with Wake Forest, with Florida, with Tennessee. Well, that doesn't seem like much. That's how college football gets played. When Nick Saban showed up to Alabama, he wasn't trying to win all the big-time recruits. He was just trying to beat Auburn. Right? He wasn't trying to beat LSU at the time. He was trying to beat Auburn. And then down the road, you win enough of those guys that now you go, okay, now we can start sniping recruits from Georgia and Clemson. But if I'm a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, let's say 4-star athlete, yeah? And Clemson hadn't offered me, and I'm trying to decide between South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, etc. What I got out of that game was South Carolina's fans are there for you till you start losing. Then they'll abandon you. Then they'll walk on you. You don't have to I mean, you can leave whenever the hell you want. I leave stuff early all the time. But perception is reality, kids. Perception is reality. And when a recruit tunes in to see that when your team goes down 35, you guys will say, screw this. I'd rather drink in the parking lot than watch this anymore. They are going to look at that and go, man, if I show up and have a bad game, Gamecocks fans are going to turn their back on me. And I'm not trying to live that life.
I disagree. Probably for the entire day, I'm going to disagree just because.
Because you're a red devil?
Yeah, you got to act the part. So here, it's not about recruiting anymore. It's about NIL. So recruiting's on the way out. It's about who's got the most money.
Incorrect.
It's not incorrect.
Yep.
Whoever's got the most money. It doesn't equate to wins. Ask Texas A&M. But still, it's about money. The more boosters you got, the better shot you got. Even though the recruit goes, man, they got handled, but you offering me how much? Okay, I'm coming.
2023 recruiting rankings. Let's look at 2021. 2021 pre-NIL. Top 5 classes: Alabama, Ohio State, LSU, Georgia, and Clemson. 2022. NIL's coming down the pipes, not all the way there yet, but it is in play. A&M is number 1, and then Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Texas.
By the way, you also have to factor.
the top 5.
You also have to factor in COVID and a lot of things in there too.
Don't disagree. I'm saying to say it is not about recruiting. No, it absolutely is, because amongst the biggest schools out there.
I didn't say recruiting was gone. I'm saying it's on its way out the door, replaced by NIL. Recruiting will never be the same again because money has come into play. So even if you get
Money was always in
even
play.
yeah, but this is
It
now
just came in different forms.
but now there's more of it, and it's out in the open, and you can publicly go, hey, here's $1 million, come to our school, drink Dr. Pepper. It's not. It's going to be a time where recruiting does not matter, and it's not there yet. But recruiting's on its way out the door, and it's got to be hard for those people who recruiting is their religion and their life, because now that money has come into play, you can look at a beatdown that Georgia put on South Carolina, but offer that kid who was thinking about coming there, going, yeah, you just got beat by this, yeah, but you know what else we got? We got a brand new car right here for you.
A brand new car.
And then the guy's like, and while you're driving that brand new car, you can help us to where we don't get beat down like that again.
I don't right this moment want to get back into another NIL is good bad conversation, because I feel like we beat that dead horse into the ground, buried him, him back up.
Listen, I'm not saying good or bad. I'm saying it's going to kill. Recruiting is dead, and your analogy that this hurts recruiting, I don't think it does anymore. I don't.
So I disagree with that, because at the end of the day, yes, money is big. Money is big, but every school's got the ability. And by the way, South Carolina is out front on the NIL front. They are. They have been, right? So kids still got to pick where they want to play football. And all I'm saying is, if they looked at that television stand and they saw that the minute that Carolina went down in the hole to the number 1 far and away team in the country, that the fans cleared out that quickly, the fans cleared out that fast, they're going to go, wait a minute, so as soon as we're not doing well, they're going to not have my back anymore? I'm not telling you shouldn't have left. You do whatever you want to do.
I just don't understand.
The way it looks, and perception is reality. The perception is when things went bad, the Gamecocks fans went out to drink in the parking lot.
I don't understand your perception, especially coming from a player, because a player, if he has a decent head on his shoulders, will go, yeah, I wouldn't stick around for this either.
Maybe. Everybody's different.
So if you were there and you were a fan of the team, you would have stayed all the way till the game was over.
Yeah, I'm in the, as Diesel calls it, the double zeros club. I'm in the double zeros club. I leave when the clock says double zeros. I stay till the end of a game.
Hey, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And I'm not.
Call me whatever you will. No way I'm staying for the entire game when that's going, especially when you see a mass exodus already. Unless you're going to, if everybody else is leaving, I'll be able to get out of here nice and easy later. I mean, if you think about it that way. Or if you're staying just because you're enjoying the weather, or you're there not for what's on the field, I think you show your disappointment for the team more by getting up and leaving, going, we deserve better than this. I think it's more of a statement of you thinking the team should be better than, oh, well, we lost, I'm leaving.
I get that. And for the record,
you've always said, and it's been said a lot, your money, your dollars is what lets the team know how you feel about it.
100%.
This happens a couple times. Stop buying tickets and don't go to it.
I got no problem with that either.
So what's the difference between stop buying tickets and then just leaving halfway through?
Again, I am not here to tell anybody what their behavior should or should not be. All I can tell you is, if you don't like the current environment, right, don't buy tickets. If you go to a game and you leave early, this is what the perception is going to be. I'm not telling you what you should and shouldn't do. That ain't my spot. I ain't that radio host, my guy. That goes, if you're a fan, you should do this. If you're a fan, you can like this, and you can't like that, and you should like this, and you shouldn't wear that. Ain't my job. My job's just to come in here and talk about football with y'all, right? But part of football is perception. All I'm telling you is the perception of what you guys saw this weekend. If I am a recruit trying to make my decision between SC and Georgia Tech or SC and North Carolina, is when things go bad, they bail.
All right, so Daniel says when the going gets tough, Lonzo gets going. No, I make a statement by leaving. If I go pay my money to sit in the theater and this is the worst movie I've ever seen, is it my duty to stay till the end of the movie? No, this movie sucks. I'm leaving. Okay, I can show, especially for someone like Beamer, this will affect him a whole lot more looking up and seeing everybody leaving. And hopefully it will affect some other people. It's not like he's not trying, and you're right. They weren't going to win this game. They could have played a little bit better, for sure. But they weren't going to win this game.
I told y'all they were getting beat by 40. But I will say this. The calls for the removal of Marcus Satterfield are founded. They're very founded. However, if you watch that game and you do not see how absolutely atrocious the offensive line is, I don't care who you got back there. I don't care if you got Trevor back there. The offensive line that is playing right now in front of Spencer Rattler, I know people want to put it on him. I know people want to bag him for it. My goodness, it's absolutely atrocious, and the play calling behind it is no bueno. It's just bad. It's just bad, and I don't know. I don't know what the fix is, other than get better.
Would play calling have made a difference? So you're saying better play calling, they could have been competitive. I mean, sometimes the team across from you is just that much better than you. And you can see a noticeable size difference between the players. That doesn't always equate to a win and a beat down, but it does a lot.
No, listen, again, South Carolina could have played the best football game that the Gamecocks have played in 50 years. And they were getting their asses kicked on Saturday. Because, y'all, I'm sorry, Georgia is a different breed of dog this year, right? This is a different breed of dog. For the record right now, Lonzo, Georgia plays Alabama tomorrow. Set that spread for me. Who do you like?
Man, that's difficult. It really is. I will go Georgia by 7.
I was going to say 7.5. I was going to say the same thing.
But I also don't know what I'm doing with the spread, obviously.
Hey,
my head is still sore from Friday. I'm just pointing that out.
This, it wouldn't have mattered the play. It's interesting in that, yes, I was disappointed with the play calling. It wasn't good enough. I was disappointed in the offensive line. It wasn't good enough. I was disappointed in a lot of stuff. It wasn't good enough.
See, it's just like when my wife asked me with picks, why can't you be better? I just can't, okay? South Carolina has who they have right now. They're not going to compete with a team like Georgia. They're just not. You go out there, you do your best. And you still get beat by that much. The best play calling in the world, they're still going to get beat by that much.
No, again, correct. And I guess that's the frustrating part is, like, on one hand, I feel like we learned a lot about this club in this game. I feel like there was very little being done to adapt in the game. But on the flip side, as Lonzo has said correctly, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered.
Toughest game they'll have all season. Against the best team they'll play all season. Yes, that includes Clemson.
Dude, that's the toughest game anybody will have all season.
Right. So, and it's done. It's over with. Now, how do you recover from that? How do you move forward? And do you let that beat down define the rest of your season? That's what we need to see.
There's a part of me, though, and I'm not going to be able to make it because Friday night, Rob gets to drive to West Florence to call Burns, which I'm excited about. Not the 3.5 hours there, call the game 3.5 hours back.
Might as well head on over to Myrtle. Just check it out so you can go My Beach is Better and then drive back.
I thought about it. But the Madre is flying into town Saturday morning because we're going to the Saints-Panthers game on Sunday in Charlotte. Speaking of Charlotte, South Carolina's got Charlotte this Saturday, 7:30 p.m., night game at Willie B. I might take the Madre to that game and let her see it. and obviously the lady friend, because I suspect that South Carolina fans are going to show out. I'll be very disappointed if not. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about the lights. I don't care about Sandstorm. I don't care about Cocky. I don't care about Cervix Spur. You know what I care about, Lonzo? You better go win this game by 40. You better turn around and do to Charlotte what Georgia just did to you. Show me that you respond. Show me that you respond. That's it. That's all I'm looking for. You were always going to lose by 40. Georgia, I tried to tell you all week. In fact, I'm on Twitter Saturday during that game, and I'm watching people who are like, I thought we'd be competitive. No. But that's not, it's not as much about to do with you as it is that Georgia is just next level good right now, y'all. I feel about Georgia the way I felt about Joe Burrow's LSU team. They're untouchable. The way I felt about a couple of different Ohio State and Clemson teams over the years. It's just their year to be untouchable. And Georgia is untouchable right now, man. They're just untouchable at this point. You were always going to lose by 40. Question mark is, how do you respond to it? Is the play calling better? Is the blocking better? How are you going to respond to it? Texter said, can we just blame Ray Tanner? I saw Ray Tanner's name pop up a lot of times this weekend. A lot of times. I mean, yes, in that he signs off on the hiring forms, but if you're going to be mad about coordinators, Shane's got to take that rap too.
So some fans expected South Carolina to go from where they were to be able to be competitive with Georgia in 2 years.
No, I'll tell you what they expected. They expected what's happening in Arkansas right now. Pittman shows up at Arkansas, who was just as bad as South Carolina 2 years ago. Granted, Arkansas got everything they wanted from Missouri State this weekend. They were down 17 at one point. But what did Arkansas do to South Carolina a couple weeks ago? South Carolina fans are looking and going, wait a minute, that team's in the SEC West. They were in the same spot 2 years ago, and now they are markedly better than us. How's that possible? We'll talk more about that when we come back. I'm Rob Brown. The great one Lonzo's at the helm. We got a lot of football to get into. Stay tuned. We'll start going through some of your comments when we come back on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate.
I also have to go to the restroom, so we'll be right back. You know, back in the day, they had these little portable TVs, like black and white or otherwise. They're like white that you could like stick on the counter in your restroom. That a lot of people would use. I'm not saying that I have one of those, but I've seen them.
What was that?
That was I'm on vacation in 5 days.
Got it.
Near mistake.
Got it.
That I corrected.
Got it.
Thank you for noticing. No, I didn't say nothing. Thanks, Sam. I was going through all my shirts and found this. I was like, whoa, this still fits. I got to wear this. Steven, we can blame it on chemtrails for Saturday. I apologize for that. I have the blinds down a little bit so Rob can't see the chemtrails. He's already fiery this morning. Or is it me? I don't know.
You. I'm not fiery.
Yeah, well,
I'm the opposite of fire.
I hope my fire brings out your fire because that's more fun. It's a shirt. It could be the shirt. It could absolutely be the shirt. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit of my youth.
Did you just say youth? Yeah, Yana, the youths.
I really can't see the sky. I'm curious. As of now, the sky is clear, but Saturday, it might have been that. I am pretty happy that even though my tire blew out Saturday, it doesn't really blow out. It just kind of goes, I get an alert like, no. And then you start watching the thing go down. And then it went back up to 1. I'm like, okay, it's a mistake. And then it went flat. Went all the way down to 0, went back up to 1. It's like, okay, the sensor's just messed up. And then, like, I got a problem. It's an awesome banner. You're right, Steven. What, do you expect them not to notice?
Man, it's not unnoticeable.
I think there should be a bet about how many weeks it takes to get it back. I'm on vacation next week, so here's what I could do. I could personally come to the Burns football game and get the banner and bring it back.
This week's Burns football?
In Florence? Why not? I'm on vacation.
That's true, you are.
I will be anyway.
Ben said on Twitter, @Ben_Cooper8, I hope but don't expect a 40-point win versus Charlotte. Charlotte just got their quarterback back and beat a good Georgia State team, but I 100% agree. I need more than Beamer ball. Yeah, I need.
Yeah, but what do you need? What do you need? When you say Beamer ball, you're just talking about the special team stuff. You want to see some good defensive play, some good offensive play.
Offense. I need offensive line that blocks.
If playing Charlotte doesn't help you, it's going to be a really long season.
I'm going to tell you right now, this game, as dumb as it sounds, this game is a defining game for Shane Beamer, right? It's a defining game for Shane. Because go to if you're not on Reddit, go to the South Carolina Gamecocks Reddit community right now. I was scrolling through it last night. I went through it last night, and the overwhelming majority of posts that have been thrown up there are ones like this one. I feel like Shane is going to sink with Satterfield. Like this one. Georgia broke our spirit. Look at our empty stands. the majority of the posts that have been made on the and again, I understand this is just a fraction of South Carolina fans, but the majority of them
broke our spirit. Come on.
They did.
No, they didn't.
They absolutely did.
No, they didn't.
No?
They're Georgia. Come on.
Again, I agree.
Part of being a fan
is
is fanatic, which means somewhere deep down inside you believe that there's a possibility that your team can beat another team.
100%.
There are sometimes you look there and you go, nah, it's just not happening.
I don't disagree. But there was a level of optimism last week amongst Gamecocks fans that is not there now. It's just not. And it's not a call out. I get it. Every team ends up in this spot where you get your rear end kicked. And you got to relive. I'm doing that. Listen, I'm doing that with the Saints right now. They got smoked by Tampa.
Admittedly, I thought Carolina would cover the spread, and I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. Am I devastated over it? Do I like the showing that they had? No, I think they should have played better. But the results probably would have been the same as we talked about last segment. They could have played a perfect game. They still would have got beat by multiple touchdowns.
There is, and it's hard to. It's hard to explain this. I knew going in, Georgia was going to light up South Carolina. But there is a difference. There's a massive difference between I expect us to lose versus we didn't do anything right. What did they do right? Give me one thing they did right in that game. Anything. I got nothing.
Crowd control between quarters.
Couldn't even get that right. Couldn't even get that right. In fact, Zoe, in the TRBS show audio folder.
I know where to look now. Thank you. You don't have to.
In the TBRS show audio folder, there is a. Yeah, you found it. Let me just.
Like I said, I made one mistake, okay? And it's an easy mistake to make. You ask anybody else in the building, they would go, I don't know what that is. Just saying.
This happened during the game.
Get these kids off the field.
That's bad.
Georgia's kind of got a bead right now on what the formation looks like.
So we have to steal possessions. You have to have an edge on special teams. They just did with the fake punt. Shane Beamer really irate. I mean, this is South Carolina's fault. This is their home game, and apparently these folks were on the field for some sort of ceremony between quarters. They don't seem to be in any big hurry to get off the field.
So
leave it to him to make anything vanilla. I mean, dude just can't get excited, make anything sound exciting.
You're talking about the guy calling the game?
Yeah, just be offended. Something. Give me something.
I think he was. I think he was flabbergasted.
Was he?
Yeah,
I
was.
Is that what that sounds like?
I was.
Okay.
I was watching that game. It's 4th and 9. South Carolina's got the ball. They're driving, or at least as close to driving as they would all day.
They were driving. Come on.
4th and 9. They decided to go for it. Too long for a field goal. Too close to punt. They get into formation, and then the refs just blow the whistle. And I'm like, uh-oh. And then they show the sideline, or show the back of the end zone, and there's like 100 students. Now, I respect what South Carolina was doing. They brought Gamecock student athletes onto the field to pay a little respect to the female Gamecock athletes. Right? It was a Title IX celebration. I'm all good with that.
What, were they like Frisbee dogs at halftime or something so they couldn't set aside some time at halftime?
Thank you. Don't do that. If you're going to rush these young ladies onto the field, let them wave to the crowd for 10 seconds, and then be like, okay, you got to go. Go on back now, y'all. Go on back now. It's football time. Send them out at halftime with the band. Let them have their moment because, A, it just made you look bad.
And stop getting on Shane Beamer about the fact that he shouldn't have had to apologize for being upset. They're trying to play a game, and that just delayed the entire thing.
And you're at a point now where you're trying to play the game, And you are, Zoe, you're kind of up against it at that moment because if you don't score here, whatever Powerball ticket odds you had of maybe getting something going are dead. So they show Shane on the sideline, and Shane's got his hands in the air. He's like, can y'all hurry, please? He's like waving his hands. It was Bush League, right? It was very minor league. It was very Bush League. And
it was embarrassing, but I know people, well, that's what you get in South Carolina. No, if it happened anywhere, it would be Bush League.
It was poor. Let me put it this way. Yesterday afternoon, I was watching football with the seductive voice of the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, Mark Shelley, friend of mine and friend of the show. And we got to talking about that. And I said, let me ask you this, Shelley. From a guy's perspective who works closely with game ops, right? You know, Swamp Rabbits, I obviously last 2 years, I've done some stuff with the Bits before. I've DJ'd for them. I've been their in-arena host. I've done all of it. When you show up to a game, though, they hand you a script. And on that script are everything that is going to be done and said during the course of the game. And they are scripted down to the minute, right? When we hit 11 minutes on the clock, this is the next element. If we get to 9 minutes without running that element, we're going to move that back here, and we're going to move this up. And it's all scripted out. You got to know better in that spot. It made you look bad. And I guess that's kind of what I'm most frustrated about here is not that you lost by 40. I knew that was coming. I told you that was coming. In fact, on our Boo Box Bets picks last week, when we made those picks, that was the one I told you I was most confident about hitting. Was Georgia plus 24.5. It's a guarantee, right? But I expected South Carolina to come out of that with even the national guys going, hey, look, yeah, they lost by 40 to the best team in football. But man, look at this team. Look at this environment. Look at this element. Look at that stadium. Listen to the student section. Listen to the fans. Look at how well run the game is. And it's like nothing. It's like nothing could go right. It's like nothing could go right. You can't even run an on the field honor ceremony without it negatively impacting the game, right? Think about it this way. If that happened the other way around, if Georgia was on offense and it's 4th and 9 and the defense is out there, they would have straight up accused you of cheating, right? But you did it to your own damn selves. Something that is so egregious that had you done it to Georgia, the news this morning would have been South Carolina cheated to try to slow up Georgia's offensive rhythm. But you did it to yourselves? It's just not a good look, man. Texter says, fan, can we all agree Luke Doty needs a chance? If you're with all due respect, Texter, if you are putting this on Spencer Rattler, I don't care who you put back there. That offensive line is going to get whoever's back there smoked. It's bad right now. It's bad, and the play calling does not play into that. Are they running a bunch of plays that are quick releases, that are runs to the outside, anything to try to counter the fact that the offensive line is bad? No. You can put Doty back there. You could have switched quarterbacks and had Stetson Bennett back there. Like, I know everybody's looking at this, and you want to blame. I think a lot of Gamecocks fans want to blame Rattler. Why? Because he's a new guy, right? And if you blame the new guy, that lets you go, it's not our fault. It's not our fault, right? It's not our fault. It's that Oklahoma kid's fault. It's not our fault. Guy, you could put freaking Malik Cunningham back there, and it would be the same. Because the problems are not Spencer Rattler's alone. Any quarterback getting the amount of pressure that Rattler's getting right now, any quarterback running for his life as he's had to, is going to stink back there, right? I'm not sitting here arguing that Spencer Rattler will be a Hall of Famer. right, shall be a first-round draft pick. But I'm saying, if you are circling Spencer Rattler as the problem, you are mighty optimistic, right? Lonzo, if Luke Doty starts that game, what's the final score?
Same.
Exactly right.
By the way, I like Luke Doty. So
do I.
Yeah, so I'm not going to act. But yeah.
So do I.
Yeah.
But to say this is Spencer Rattler's fault is just wrong, with all due respect to you, Texter. Another texter says, I'm not sure Georgia should be the barometer for how South Carolina plays. No, I agree with that too. I think we opened with that, right? I knew you were going to get beat by 40. I knew this was the reality. I knew this was the outcome before it happened. It was not a prediction. It was a spoiler alert.
All right, South Carolina's got Charlotte next week,
Yep.
and then they got
SC State.
SC State. Those are games that
You better win them both.
you can right the ship. You can try to figure out your problems, fix whatever you can fix.
Agreed?
And then even though Kentucky's ranked 8th, Kentucky is not Georgia.
No, but Kentucky ain't bad either.
But they're still not Georgia. And then Texas A&M comes in after that, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Florida. I mean, you still have the opportunity to do better than you did last year. You got to win a couple games that maybe you shouldn't, but you still got the opportunity.
Oh, no, this team's winning 5. This team's not going bowling this year. Sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. This team's winning 5.
I refuse to be as negative as Rob Brown is right
Okay, let's
now.
look at it. Let's say they beat Charlotte and SC State both, right? That's 3 wins. You need 3 more. Kentucky's not a win right now. A&M's not a win right now.
Wait. Why not?
Why is number 8 ranked Kentucky?
No.
Kentucky not a
I'm
win?
talking about A&M. Why
They
is
just
it?
beat Miami. By the way, Zach Brown, I'll be looking for that phone call coming up later.
Why is A&M not
Because
a
A&M
possibility?
losing to Appy State is bad. I would not pick
That same
let
App
me say
State
this.
team that struggled with Troy.
I would not pick South Carolina to beat Appalachian State right now. Dead serious.
Yeah,
Deadly serious.
There are a lot of people who question whoever App State's playing about whether they pick them or not.
I would flat out pick Appalachian State over South Carolina.
even after Troy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Sure would. A&M is a loss. Mizzou's a toss-up game.
I hope you're getting your anti-Gamecock text right now because
not anti-Gamecock.
today you might deserve them.
It's not I'm not pulling punches here. Vanderbilt should be a win. Florida at Florida? I don't know. Tennessee's a loss and Clemson's a loss. That's 5. This team's not going bowling. We'll talk more about it. I'm not doing all South Carolina all day. There's too much football. But, Gamecocks fans, call me. Tell me you're wrong. Tell me that you are going bowling and explain to me where you're picking up 5 more wins off this schedule right now, because I don't see them. And it is not Spencer's fault. Back after this on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate.
All right, Chuck, that's just mean because if you had a daughter out there and the game continued and one of the players ran into the girls and took a knee out or something, you would not be happy.
No, you can't.
Put the whole rivalry thing or whatever aside. You can't do that.
But he's saying they weren't getting in the end zone anyway. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, I got all that. I got all that.
Which, probably correct.
And I disagree with all praise Georgia because Ohio State's going to have something to say about all that. Just saying.
after the game, after Kyler ran to the end zone after winning the game, apparently a Raiders fan slapped him in the face.
So they smacked him down. So what, did he take his helmet off or something? I mean, how did?
Yeah, it was after the game was over.
Oh.
Like, had his helmet, and he ran down to the standing section behind the end zone, and he was celebrating with some Cardinals fans, and then a hand just comes out right across the face, and he was trying to get into the stands to go after the dude.
But he was too short to climb up into the stands. Someone give me a boost! Someone come here, give me a boost! Hey, 67, throw me up there. Or, as us nerds would say, toss me. Kyler Murray possibly assaulted. There's no video. Have you seen video? I don't see video. There's no video. It didn't happen. Hey, I hope it ends up that way, Josh. I mean, that would be a fun game if the two teams continue to play the way they're playing.
Georgia and who?
Ohio State.
70. Ooh. A lot of touchdowns.
Hey, when you put the second and third string in and they're still throwing the ball, which they were still throwing the ball, I mean, I know that's frowned on by some people, but got to get them reps. And it was Toledo, and Toledo's practically Michigan, so they had it coming.
Toledo's practically.
Part of Toledo's in Michigan, man. That's how you can't get more north than that.
Texas says, Gamecocks, don't accuse Rob of being anti-Gamecock when you left at halftime. Yeah, I'm not anti-Gamecock. I'm just realist about what I'm seeing right now. What I'm seeing right now is not good. Like, not good. It's not anti. Again, how many times I have to tell you guys? I want every team in our area to be undefeated. Because of exactly what happened, right? If the team is bad, people stop paying attention to the team. If the team is good, people pay more attention to the team. In fact, yesterday, I was sitting at a table with a bunch of folks watching NFL Sunday, and I was like getting mad. Now I went out in my Saints gear because we were playing Tampa, and when Carolina lost, I'm like, come on. The guy next to me is like, you're a Saints fan. Why are you mad about Carolina losing? I'm like, dude, if Carolina wins a bunch, our podcast takes off. I make more money. It's real simple. Same for Clemson, same for South Carolina. And the Triumph and the Rabbits and the Drive. All of it. Right? All of it. So, effectively, I'm going to be honest with your team. And like I said, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your tickets, what to do with your seats. I'm just telling you. The perception is the reality. The reality is it just looked bad. Texas says, play calling has to be better for South Carolina. Running every third down when the O-line has no push is a recipe for an L. Yeah.
But if the offensive line is as bad as you say it is,
oh, it is.
Throwing to you're going to get your quarterback
No,
out.
but you got to use Rattler to extend plays, right? A lot of rollouts. Shift your blocking left and right. Let Spencer Rattler roll out of the pocket. Get outside of the pocket. Make plays left and right. Utilize his legs. Utilize his ability to move with the football. And they just keep not doing that. They just keep not doing that. And then you add on to the product on the field, which was not great. Again, it is one thing to lose by 40 to Georgia. You just join the rank with a decent Oregon team. And I got news. Georgia's got more 40-point victories coming up very soon. Georgia's freaking good, right? They just are. Poor Kent State's going to get beat by 80 this weekend.
I was going to ask you, does Georgia play anybody good?
Tennessee, November 5th. Kentucky, November 19th. No, outside of that, Georgia won't. It's not just about Georgia won't lose. Lonzo, Georgia won't win another game by less than 17 this year. Every game they win will be a double-digit win. There's not a close game on the schedule for them. They're that good. It is one thing to lose to the best team in the country, as you did. But the thing is, there was stuff you still could have got right you didn't get right. Right? It's like simple stuff. The play calling was bad. A lot of people calling for Marcus Satterfield to get walked. And frankly, I'm out of patience with it. I got no problem with that. I don't want to see anybody lose their job, but I do need the job to be executed better, and I just don't think he gets it. Right? And then again, on top of that, the part that frustrated me the most was that even game ops wasn't run well. Even game ops wasn't run well. Steven said, the only thing I have to say about the field incident with the Gamecocks is I feel as if they slighted the Lady Athletes and put a negative focus on them. They should bring them back at halftime of a game to give them the props they deserve. Absolutely agree. It made them look bad instead of South Carolina's game ops who screwed the pooch. It was just a bad day. Shane even said it afterwards. He came in, he's like, we apologize to the fans. That was a bad day. Yeah, it was. Question is, are you going to come out and respond? Are you going to come out and be better this Saturday and do what you're supposed to do against Charlotte? You better hope so. All right, we'll toss some Clemson ball when we come back on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate.
Wait, Clemson played last week? Lad, that's never a good idea. If you bookmark someone else's mistakes, they'll bookmark your own. And I'd rather forget about mine. By the way, I asked my sponsor after the show Saturday night if he would try to get us Ricky.
Yeah.
And he said he would attempt to do that.
I love it.
And I don't know if you noticed, Ricky has announced he's doing another match. And so I think Flair has done something.
One more with Rick.
Flair has done something, so we're going to get some older wrestlers coming out and doing one more match.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Granger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety.
That dish just gonna stay in that hallway forever.
Certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call
Probably.
Granger.com or just stop by. Granger.
And new rumors suggest actor Eldon Henson has signed a deal with Marvel Studios to return as Foggy Nelson for Daredevil Born Again.
I like it.
Foggy was one of the best parts of that whole thing. They could not make that without him or recast. All the people who can move that desk or slide a build. So I think it just stays there because no one can move it. I'm sure if you wanted to volunteer, if you just felt like moving a desk, I mean, I'll help you if you need help. But I'm wearing the wrong footwear today for that, so you know. Did you run into the desk again?
No, I've not run into this yet. It's been there since I got here, so.
Has it been there that long?
Been here since I got here.
I just ignore it. We could like set it upright and like put a chair under there and just like decorate the desk like someone actually works at it. And every day move the paper slightly and put different papers on there. And yeah, they gave that desk to Jody. When's Jody in? I don't know. I hope so too, Trey. But I think Foggy's more pivotal than Karen. But that's just me. She's just doing D&D stuff now anyway. You know, she's got time.
of the Rob Brown Show starts right now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to be with you again on a Monday. Ba-da, ba-da-da-da. I am Rob Brown. The great one, Lonzo, is at the board today.
Did you just go mamas and the papas?
Always.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. I got asked a moment ago how the Boo Box bets worked out for the weekend. And the answer is Lonzo's a big Tennessee Titans guy tonight.
Let's go, Vrabel. Let's get this thing going.
Big Tennessee
Let's go,
dude
King.
tonight.
Let's go, King Henry.
Because as of the conclusion of the weekend, Rob Brown is 5-4, Lonzo's 4-5. So it all comes down to Bills minus 9.5. If the Bills win by 10 or better, it'll be Lonzo on the 3L streak. If Tennessee is inside of 9.5, then we will have our first draw of the year. Both of us will have gone 5-5.
I'm just going to.
Which, by the way, is exactly what I told you would happen on Friday, and you were like, "No."
Yeah, that's exactly how I sounded. I just want to point out that I'm on vacation next week, so if when we pick Friday, I were to lose, I'm not coming in to pay up the bet. I just want you to know that. I'll come in for some other stuff if I need to, but that's not.
But not that.
But not that. No.
I think if you
I need a vacation from that.
If you draw the Brady or Michigan shirts, I feel like you just got to wear it one day on your vacation. You just got to roll around the beach. Y'all going back to the beach?
No, I'm taking a break to get away from here.
Oh, you're just going to be chilling at the house.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Well, that's no fun.
I mean, so if you want me to put it on and wear it in the game room while I'm playing like 3,000 hours of Skyrim or something, I mean, I can do that. We'll see if it affects my play, but, you know.
So we'll see. But Zoe is on lookout tonight. The Boo Box bets will either be a draw or a Lonzo L, depending on the outcome of tonight's Tennessee-Buffalo game.
I also want to point out, and I don't have to point this out, but I want to point this out. I don't know if this is about integrity or whatever, but Rob had it wrong.
Yeah.
Rob had me in the lead, and I had to go back and correct his math and point out that I was, because I don't want to win that way. I mean, that's deceptive. That's cheating. If I lose, I lose.
Yeah, I accidentally flipped around our Tampa New Orleans picks, and Zoe caught me up on it. By the way, speaking of getting caught up on, Lonzo, do we owe an apology to Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek? Because they were kind of really good yesterday, down 21 going into the fourth quarter, and came back to win that game. Tua was slinging the rock yesterday. Like really well.
So is this
buying time?
Is this turning into a competition? Mahomes throws 5, so Tua thinks he's got to throw 6. Because I'm down for this competition.
I love it.
Yeah, I hope it ends up being Kansas City versus Miami in the AFC Championship game. I'm down for that. Obviously, Cincinnati's probably not going back. So I mean,
what the hell, Joe?
Yeah, but Kansas City's been there like every year for the last 4 years. So if Miami wants to come in and join the party, what fun would that be?
Tua went 36 of 50, 469, and 6 touchdowns through the air. Did throw a couple of picks, sacked only one time, a QBR of 124. And it's not like Lamar had a bad day. 21 of 29, 318, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
Yeah, Miami was down for a while too,
By the way,
right?
Lamar rushed 9 for 119. Yeah, they were down a lot.
I think most people would like their running back to do that.
It was 28-7 at halftime. It was 35-14 going into the fourth quarter. And then the Finns put up 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to win 42-38. I texted our buddy Andrew. Andrew's the one that I lost the bet to last year, and I had to wear that ugly-ass Dolphins hat on the stream that day. Right? I texted him. I'm like, how's the heart rate? And he went, real bleeping high, Rob. Which made sense. Panthers fall to the Giants 19-16, and things went bad from the get-go. Opening kickoff was fumbled away by Carolina. The Giants turned it into Trace. They knocked another field goal through. It was 6-6 at the half. They both put up 7 in the third, and then it was a field goal battle in the fourth. Saquon Barkley, 21 carries, 72 yards, averaged 3.4, which is exactly what I said the Panthers needed to do to win the game. McCaffrey, 15 totes for $102 and 26 through the air as well. Just couldn't find the end zone. Baker Mayfield, 14 of 29, 145, averaged 5 yards of completion, had 1 touchdown, was sacked twice for 16 yards.
All right, so there's a couple of people on our Views from Main Street podcast that we talked about needed to touch the ball. Those people messed up yesterday. Chuba Hubbard puts the ball on the ground. Robbie Anderson wasn't one of those, but he put the ball on the ground. Shi Smith, easy catch, probably would have been a touchdown. And it wasn't thrown behind him, it's thrown right to him, and he just dropped it.
There were a couple of drops.
Yeah, it just, I mean, you know what we're not hearing? We're not hearing, at least I'm not hearing or seeing that this is all Baker's fault.
I got some, like, I heard Rashad, poor Rashad, we need to get him on Thursday and ask him how he's doing. Because I don't think it's great, to be honest with you. No, much like with the situation going on with South Carolina, I heard a ton of this is on Matt Rule. And
the watch is on big time.
Oh, 100%.
It is on strong.
The seat is now muy caliente. Very hot seat. No doubt.
You know, the only problem I have with Baker is they need to roll him out a little bit more so his balls don't get batted down. I think that only happened once yesterday. But you roll him out a little bit more, you don't have to worry about that. And I still believe Christian McCaffrey needed to touch the ball a little bit more.
I mean, how many more times could he have? He ran the ball 15 times. He had 4 snags on 5 targets. So, he touched the ball 20 times. That's the number I wanted.
Got to be 30. Got to be 30 times.
You're going to break his ankles.
No, you're not. You absolutely are not.
And his back.
He looked like one of the strongest guys out there last night on either team.
Does,
on either team.
Something pops.
Yeah. If you're going to treat him like he's porcelain, he shouldn't be out there anyway.
I got to treat him like I need him. Well, I got to let me phrase that. My plan was treat him like he's precious because you need him in the playoffs, but the Panthers are 0-2 and 2 very winnable games. The Giants are 2-0, but don't tell me that game wasn't winnable yesterday.
Oh, it absolutely was winnable.
100%.
Especially with the way the defense played. I mean, the defense stood up and they played, but you don't go into a game and go, you know what, we're going to start off in a hole. And the defense stood them up after both turnovers and held them to only 6 points when it could have been 14. So
dig the numbers. Daniel Jones, 22 of 34, 176 and a touch. Saquon held to 72 yards on 21 carries. That's a 3.4 yards per carry average, exactly in the sweet spot where I said it needed to be. Daniel Jones ran 10 times for 21 yards. No other running back, no other rusher had more than 14 for the Giants. In fact, there was only one of those. Through the air, Richie James, 5 snags for 51. David Sills, 3 for 37. Shepard had 6 for 34. Hudson, 2 for 22. Nobody else had more than 16. The defense was there. The defense showed up. And they were hitting from the get-go, blowing up stuff the Giants were trying to do. The offense just didn't uphold its end of the bargain. And I'm kind of ready to set that at the feet of Matt Rule, to be honest with you.
So it's Matt Rule's fault that Chuba Hubbard coughed up that ball the first play. I mean, you may think maybe it's a matter of coaching and a matter of intensity. Those turnovers were a little, I don't know. I don't want to say lackadaisical. The Giants played defense like they were supposed to. But you give up turnovers right away to start the game. And then,
that was bad.
And then if you are a player, you can't help but think, oh, no, here we go again. You cannot help but think that. At least it's a different set of problems this week than it was the week before. It's still a problem and you still lost, but it's a different set of problems.
Doesn't make me feel better, to be honest with you. Does not make me feel better. It's still bad. I don't know, man. Like I said, I thought lot of teams I thought struggled with play calling this week. I think Carolina was in that mix. South Carolina was in that mix. I don't know. It just wasn't good enough. Right? Like, this is this Giants team's 2-0, but they're not, like, impressive. And then, of course, you come out and you watch the Browns team that beat you at home in week number 1. You watch that Browns team come out and lose to the New York Jets the next week.
Jets are back, man.
Joe Flacco is elite. 26-44, 307, 4 touchdowns. I mean, look, the Panthers are 0-2. I don't want to say, oh, it's over, but it's over. The playoff hopes are done.
No, it's not. It absolutely is not over. Come on.
You couldn't beat the Browns, who lost to the Jets. You couldn't beat the New York Giants. The New York Giants, expected to finish no better than third in the NFC least. You couldn't beat them, and you're going to tell me you're a wild card team when you've got the Cardinals, the Niners, the Rams, the Bucks, the Bengals, which isn't as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be. And another game against the Saints on the line. 2 games against the Saints on the line.
Yeah, I don't see the panic yet. I mean, to get to a wild card, how many wins do you think you need?
9.
9 wins.
You got 9 wins on this roster?
That means 7 losses, right?
You got 9 wins on this roster?
No, I'm just saying 9 wins means 7 losses, right?
Means 8 losses.
8 losses.
Yeah.
Okay, 8 losses. I'm still like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So that means 8 losses. You got 2 losses. Yeah, you don't have any of those wins yet, but you only got 2 losses. If you're going to get 8 losses and still got a shot at making the wild card, it ain't over yet. You go 0-4, then we got a problem.
You got the Saints coming to town this weekend.
Is that a surefire victory for the Saints?
Saints minus 4.5. That's my line. Let's see what that line is.
No
I'm
way.
saying minus 4.5.
No way.
They took Brady and the Bucks to the limit yesterday. They didn't break away till the very end. Although Jameis looked like crap.
You're
again.
right. Carolina has done nothing but get blown out their first 2 games. So there's no reason why. Yeah.
On back-to-back 56-plus yard field goals. That should never have been in question. Never should have been a question. Shouldn't have been set up to happen in the first place. New Orleans is minus 3.5. I was off by a point. Minus 3.5.
Right now. That could change. It could be more. It could be less by the end of the week.
We'll see what Vegas says. By the way, I'm sorry to say it. Ike Ekwonu looks like crap. He does, Lonzo. You don't have to. I mean, I understand you're trying to be optimistic, and I respect that. And I know I'm supposed to be like, rah, rah, shish, boom, ball, let's go Panthers, and I am. But my goodness, he looked terrible.
Dude, you've been
in
nothing
2 games, he looked terrible.
I mean, I could have came in with an attitude today, and you're like nothing but negative. And this is a rookie playing one of the harder positions in football, and he's struggling a little. Struggling a little. So Baker got sacked how many times yesterday?
2. You're telling me quarterback hurries don't impact a guy?
Well, they do.
Yeah, of course they do.
But also that could come down to play calling and knowing that you have a rookie and he needs some help. And maybe they're not giving him the kind of help he needs.
I mean, I like the optimism, but he's getting worked. And it is forcing Baker to run for his life.
He's not getting worked. If he's getting worked, he would be sitting on the bench because they would put a more experienced guy out there. And they have him more. They move Christensen back out the tackle and bring someone else in at guard. If they didn't think he was doing a good enough job.
He's not doing a good enough job. We'll start with that. Second off, who you moving out there?
I just said you just move Christensen or you bring Moten over on that side and put Christensen on the other side. I mean, you got some tackles on the team. If he is not good enough to be out there, then you sit him on the bench.
I'm unimpressed. I'm impressed by the defense. Very happy with the defense. By the way, I heard Brian Burns' post-game press yesterday. That dude's fired up. He is not happy with losing back-to-back games. But, and we talked about him on the Views from Mitch Street podcast, which you can download where local podcasts are found. We talked about Derek Brown last week.
Derek Brown, who had a really good game yesterday.
Good game.
He did. His name was mentioned all over the place.
Yep. Itor Gross-Matos. Who was it? Was it Dante Jackson? Dante Jackson put Kadarius Toney in his sights on like the second series of the game, Lonzo, and like Batista spine-bustered him. It was great. I'm like, that's the defense I've been looking for. Xavier Woods has played exceptional the last 2 weeks. Jeremy Chinn's getting frustrated because they're almost playing him as a like pure free safety and keeping him back away from the action. And I can see him getting frustrated. The defense, however, is overall playing very, very well.
I think I saw earlier they're ranked 8th in the NFL, and the offense, I believe, is ranked 28th.
Yeah.
So that is a problem.
Carolina's defense is exceptional. Carolina's offense is a dumpster fire. It just is what it is.
It's not a dumpster fire.
It is the 4th worst in the league.
That's not the worst.
You can have more than one dumpster fire. Multiple dumpster fires, and they're one of them.
I got sunshine on a cloudy day. Rob is a cloud.
I'm a chemtrail, baby. Bringing everybody down. All right. Panther fans, what do you got? Talk me off the ledge of a team I'm supposed to be super excited about. Hit me. Give me something. Give me something. Defense is exciting. I agree. In fact, that's why they're only a 3.5-point dog this weekend, is because Tampa's defense created some turnovers out of Jameis in New Orleans. They're going to be fired up to make that happen this weekend. But offensively, yeesh.
All right, so this is doing that hypothetical thing, but that's what we do on radio. So you take away those 2 turnovers and those 6 points. What's the score at the end?
Take over the Carolina's turnovers of points?
Yes.
I don't know. 21-16, 24-16?
Panthers would have won the game, could have won the game if they didn't start off doing that.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Aren't you tired of saying that? Aren't you tired of saying that?
Yes, for a lot of things, not just football.
Fair enough. By the way, I'm looking at the people like.
Will someone send Joy Rob's way? Would someone do that? I mean, I don't know what it is. I'm almost willing to give him a hug during the break. I'm almost willing to.
I don't want it.
I mean, a full-on best friends hug.
I don't want it.
It's what the people want, Rob.
I don't want it. All right, we got stuff to talk about. Zoe, I don't know if you did or did not, and it's cool if you did. Did you see any of that Saints-Bucks game? And more importantly, did you see the fight?
I have seen the fight. I did not watch the game because the game was not on TV, but the Panthers game was. And I was watching the Panthers game and taking notes and doing all that kind of thing. And why would I watch Tom Brady for leisure, for fun? No. Just like tonight, when I watched Josh Allen, it's because I got something riding on it, okay? I'm not watching Tom Brady on purpose.
Tom Brady, Lonzo.
He got frustrated. He threw
another tablet.
Threw another tablet, and it's okay because you know why? It's Tom Brady, and he shows his fire, and he's the supposed GOAT. But anyone else does it, they're immature. But Tom Brady, he can do that. And why did I fight? Ref, I had to fight. That's Tom Brady, I believe, was the excuse for the fight.
Tom Brady yapped his mouth to Marshawn Lattimore yesterday, right? Ran his mouth to Lattimore. Here you go. Here it is right here as we speak, Lonzo. Marshawn, Tom Brady ran his mouth at Lattimore. Lattimore wouldn't have none of it. He's like, I don't care if you're Tom Brady. Gave it back to TB12, right? Gave it back to TB12. Was walking over to him. Evans came over. Mike Evans came over, blindsided, knocked the crap out of Marshawn Lattimore, got himself tossed. Then they ejected Marshawn Lattimore. Why? Then, all of a sudden, the flags started coming out. Do you want to guess who ended the day with more penalty flags against them? Tom Brady's Bucks or the New Orleans Saints yesterday?
I'm going to go with the Saints, and I don't think it's for the reason that you're going to go with, but you can go with it anyway.
I have been...
Because the referees hate the Saints, and if we had robo-referees, none of that would have happened.
Yesterday was the first time in a hot minute, Zoe. I don't have any evidence for it, so it kind of goes against my own personal philosophy. Brady was getting protected yesterday. He was
always
acting
protected.
Like a beep and getting protected yesterday, and it infuriated me, dude. Infuriated me. There were guys at the table, not Saints fans, that are like, wow, you guys are getting screwed. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but Rob, Brady's having a bad time right now, and they just wanted to make him feel better.
I guess. Tell me how Brady is cool to run his mouth. Marshawn goes, yeah, I'm not hearing it. Fournette and Mike Evans blast Lattimore, and Lattimore gets tossed for getting blindside hit. You get tossed for that now. Then my favorite part is after the scrum started between both teams, Brady stops, lets all of his offense gets between him and Marshawn Lattimore, and then starts walking over like he's going to do something. I was like, take your ass to the bench, 12. You ain't going to do nothing. I like Tom Brady.
Go get some oxygen, old man.
Yeah. But he waited till every Tampa player was between him and the Marshawn Lattimore that he started running his mouth to. He's like, oh, yeah, y'all got that, dude? Oh, no. I'll get up in here now.
Yeah, but that's typical guy in the group, isn't it? The mouthy one gets everybody else to fight, and he just kind of...
I'll be at the bar if you need me.
Yeah. You get them, dudes.
Yeah. Brady's that lady that's like, my boyfriend will beat you up. No, I won't, Samantha. Settle down. Texas said, smile, Rob, could be worse. Could be a Falcons fan. That is correct. Although they hosed me. The Rams did. They hosed me.
They gave me a shot. They gave me a shot. And I just wrote it off and went in the other room, and then I saw the final score. I was like, wait, I'm back in it.
How do you have them down 21 and then blow it? Just garbage time. Thomas, our buddy Thomas from the warehouse in Midtown, we had a bet on this one. He had a beer bet. I had Rams -10. Rams -10. I got all excited about it. And then they let the Falcons back in. Thomas at Bigfoot Hunters on Twitter said, many fortunes have been lost during garbage time. Yeah, I know. Most of them mine. Let's take a break. Come back here in just a minute. We got a lot more stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff to get into. Got to talk Clemson ball. We've talked Carolina ball. We've made fun of Tom Brady. Rob Lonzo, The Rob Brown Show, the Fan Upstate.
QC.
I like it. I like it.
That's what I was laughing about.
I found a mod on Skyrim called it's like Smite of the Gods or something, where if a guard says that to you, he's immediately struck down by lightning.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really funny.
Apologies to stream. I ate towards the mic again. I try not to do that. I'm sorry.
The Rob Brown Show rolls on. It is the Fan Upstate. Rob and Lonzo and you. Be a part of the show. 844-FAN phone. 844-FANFONE. That's 844-326-3663. You can also hit us up on the Preferred Home Services text line at 71307 71307. Herm Edwards, no longer with Arizona State University, and I have never seen this before, Zoe. I've heard about coaches being tarmacked, right? Where like the game's over and they break the team down and they head to the airport and they get fired before they get on or right after they get off the airplane. We've heard of that happening.
Lane Kiffin.
Yep.
Left without a ride.
Herm got end-zoned fired. The AD and president of ASU met Herm in the end zone after they lost their game this weekend and fired him before he was even off the field.
So I saw that tweeted, but I didn't know that's what exactly happened. I just thought they were just out there. So they came out there and said, oh, by the way, you fired.
From what I can tell, after the Sun Devils, I'll mess with that devil stuff, lost 30-21 to Eastern Michigan, Herm got met by the AD and the president in the end zone. I am working under the assumption that they didn't fire him on the spot, but they were like, hey, we need to meet with you after you break the team down, right? Like, go on, break the team down, and then come up to my office.
Why even let him break the team down? Or by the way, go tell the team goodbye.
Yeah. You know what? Don't even worry about hitting the locker room, Herm. I called that shot when he got fired. I was like, this is going to end disastrously. When Herm showed up and was on the spot offended that someone was working for a newspaper with the word devil in it, when he just accepted the job as the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, I was like, this is going to go poorly. Herm has no idea what he's doing.
I can't tell any devil jokes today.
It's a dope shirt, though. I do like the shirt. So Herm Edwards, no mas. He's gone. Scott Frost is gone.
Herb Edwards end up back on TV and radio?
Got to, right? I mean, he wasn't bad.
Yeah.
He didn't stand out to me for any reason, but he wasn't bad.
Nah, I never said anything. Well, no, that was a press conference. You play to win the game. That was a press conference, but still.
You play to win the game.
My Velcro's working great, by the way.
It really is.
It's you might see a little rumble like an earthquake, but it's not moving. That camera is staying steady.
So our top. Oh wait, you know what? Let's save it. Next segment. Run through the top 25 poll, and then I want to play some audio from you or for you from the Appy State win over Troy, which is amazing. Top 25 as it stands. Miami at 2-1 holds on to their spot at 25. Pitt and Texas A&M are 24 and 23. Texas is number 22 at 2-1. Wake Forest, the lowest ranked undefeated team, they are 3-0 at number 21, just behind number 20 Florida and number 19 BYU. Washington is undefeated at 3-0 at number 18. Baylor 17. Ole Miss is undefeated at 16. Oregon goes to 15 at 2-1. Penn State, after a big win this weekend at Auburn, they smoked the Eagle Tigers. Smoked the Eagle Tigers. They're sitting at number 14. Utah is at number 13. NC State 12. Tennessee 11. Arkansas 10. Oklahoma State 9. Kentucky number 8. USC number 7. Oklahoma number 6. Clemson hangs on to their top 5 spot after a win at home over La Tech. They are 3-0 at number 5, just outside of a playoff seed, jumped by Michigan at number 4, 3-0. The Buckeyes of Ohio State are 3-0. They received 1 first-place vote. Alabama at 3-0 after they drop. Would they drop on 63 on Youngstown State, I think? They're 3-0. Second place, 3 first-place votes. And Georgia, after the demolition job they did on South Carolina, remains number 1 and have 59 of the first-place votes available.
So if you're getting beat down by one of the top 3 teams, it's Alabama's fault because Alabama struggled in the game. They lost a spot. Now everybody thinks they got to win by 50.
I mean, they want to anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, but now they're not back, even though, style points supposedly don't count. Yeah, they do. So
yeah,
now they're like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and throw the ball even though we're up by 40-something.
100%. Georgia's the best team in the country. It's not particularly close, right? I handicapped that game today. Georgia's minus 7.5.
Keep saying right like it's a given. Nah, I don't. They are one of the top 3 teams in college football.
Nobody I take over Georgia. None. Nobody I take over Georgia. Let me rephrase that.
We got a lot of games to go.
Sure we do. Sure we do. Who's got the best chance of remaining undefeated out of the top 3? It's Georgia. It's Georgia.
Until the SEC championship, you're right. Until you get there, they've got the best shot.
Till they play Alabama, who, again, I got Georgia as a 7-point favorite in that game. Right now, today. There's a lot of football left. Bama's got number 10 Arkansas. They got Texas A&M. They've got number 11 Tennessee. LSU looked better this weekend. That was one I got right. They got Ole Miss at number 16. And then, the Iron Bowl has some weird stuff happening in it. Georgia's unreal. Georgia's unreal. That was the whole thing to me about, you're going to lose by 40, Gamecocks fans. It's not about the final score. It's about the presentation. That was the whole point of that.
I refuse to say the season is over and go ahead and crown Georgia. No, not doing that. We've seen other teams be like that and lose before they get to the playoff or lose in the playoff. So, no. I mean, we'll wait. I will wait. Rob is crowning them already.
You play to win the game, Herm. All right, I want to do this. I want to take a break. When we come back here in just a minute, the greatest, worst radio call I've ever heard in my life. It was so terrible that it circled all the way around back to amazing. I'll tell you about it when we come back. I'll let you listen to it when we come back on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate.
button's still affecting me. I just want you to know. The pain in the head.
Throws your whole game off for weeks.
Putting the headphones on. I'm a soldier through.
Catch every Carolina Panthers game live on Classic Rock 101.1. Download the Odyssey app and search the Fan Upstate. Then listen anywhere on your phone. I'm Chuck Sanders, and that's your sports flash on the Fan Upstate.
From the Ingles Market Studio,
Upstate, 97.7 FM Greenville, 97.1 FM Spartanburg.
There's nothing worse than coming home from a hot day to find out that your AC unit isn't working. When this happens, you need an HVAC company you can trust. A company like Priority Heating and Air. Their HVAC specialist will give your system a thorough
Guess how much 2 tires cost me?
For you, $400.
Oh, I wish.
More than that?
Yes.
Golly. How much?
$750.
Ooh, for 2? Golly.
And I need 2 more.
Yeah, they do come in force.
Yeah,
So I've been told.
but we had to tell them, no, we can't do that this week. So that will make your day start off really bad. I knew I needed tires.
Mm-hmm.
And we were trying to make it till next week when I was on vacation, just so I can mourn at home. Just don't think about that when you buy a car. How much do the tires cost on that car? Until you need them. They do have a 60,000 mile warranty on them, though.
That's it? Wow. Mine gets 60,000, and I get my tires are like $150 a piece.
Yours aren't this wide.
That's also true. Bad part is the front is so loose where I need to, I'm getting so much grip on the back where they put the tires. The front is so loose, it's scaring me. I'm still not going to drive slow, but, you know. I could get away with driving like a grandpa because I am.
What's your retirement look like? With Fidelity Income Planning, a dedicated advisor can help you create a flexible income strategy to grow and protect your wealth, so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services member NYSE SIPC.
I'm going to go to that other soundbite.
No music. I can't.
The Rob Brown Show back live on your radio and other sound providing devices. Rob and Lonzo with you on a Monday morning. So I wanted to get to this real quick. Appalachian State was taking on Troy. And, you know, College Game Day was in the hood. They were coming off of a big-time win, second biggest win in program history when they knocked off A&M. They find themselves trailing Troy. They find themselves down to Troy, and, you know, coming off of that win over A&M, it was a little surprising. A lot of question marks about it. Well, they decided, let's make this more interesting, shall we? So, in a spot where they are down, in a spot where they need a miracle, they find themselves with just seconds on the clock, chase Bryce out of the shotgun, and this is the audio call from the Appalachian State radio broadcast.
We'll see. See how many Troy rushes here. They have everybody back to try to knock one down. Three-man rush. Chase going to step up in the pocket. Sets. Throws high into the air. It's up for grabs. It is juggled.
Mountaineers, baby! Yes, sir!
Oh my gosh!
Yes, sir! What a play!
Deflected back into the arms of Christian Horde.
And
they storm the field. App State wins on Miracle on the Mountain Part 2. Final score, App State 32, Troy 28. It is great to be a Mountaineer. Woo!
I would like to submit, Lonzo, the paperwork required to remove my nickname of Producer's Nightmare after hearing that audio.
All I can say is, yes, sir!
Yes, sir!
You got to slur the third. Yes, sir!
The boys popped.
Keegan says, sorry, everyone wearing headphones. Absolutely. I will tell you, it didn't peak over here. It's just, yeah.
I can't decide if I like or I hate that call.
I hate when people talk over each other, which we do on occasion, to the point where it garbles what's being said. I love the excitement. I love the energy. But as Rob, being someone who is quite loud, understands how microphones work, and a lot of times he will rear his head back, as will I, if we know we're about to yell or something. But they're wearing the headset mics. It's hard to get excited and not overmodulate when that's going on.
You know, somebody's called football and has called some really exciting plays. Basketball, too, some really exciting stuff. You know, one thing is especially for me, I've gotten to the point, though, where I've gotten very good at when I know the big call is coming, when I know that we're about to crank the volume to pull that little wire, that little robot arm that holds the mic in front of you, to pull it off your face just
well,
a
let's
little
face
bit.
it, all you've been doing is calling winning games lately. So, I mean.
Yeah, correct.
That means there's probably going to be some exciting calls.
I'm not saying, South Carolina, you should hire me to be your play-by-play guy, but every team I call for wins, all right? Just is what it is. Anyway, I can't decide if I like or I hate that call. Because on one hand, you got the play-by-play guy doing his best to tell you what happens, but he's also yelling and screaming. The color guy is just
Stop it.
eating the mic.
Yeah, I know my mic wasn't on. That doesn't count.
Didn't need it to be.
Don't
We all
do
got
that.
it.
Don't do that.
I mean, I can't decide if I like or I hate that call. I love the enthusiasm. I love the energy level. But my goodness, it was like a bomb going off in my radio. Can you play it again? Do you still have it up? I want it again. I need to know if I like or hate this
It
call.
really bothers me, but okay.
We'll see. See how many Troy rushes here. They have everybody back to try to knock one down. Three-man rush. Chase going to step up in the pocket. Sets. Throws high into the air. It's up for grabs. It is juggled.
Mountaineers, baby! Yes, sir!
Oh my gosh!
Yes, sir! What a play!
Deflected back into the arms of Christian Horde.
And
they storm the field. App State wins on Miracle on the Mountain Part 2. Final score, App State 32, Troy 28. It is great to be a Mountaineer. Woo!
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, color guy. I don't need you to finish the sentence for me.
The woo at the end was nice, though.
Woo!
It was nice. DA played this morning, too. So this is getting play everywhere. So if you're that play-by-play guy, are you happy that it's getting all this play, or how would you feel about it?
I think you got to feel good.
I mean, but you're on national radio technically for the wrong reason. People are doing it to make fun.
No.
of it.
Here's the thing. I'm genuinely saying, love it or hate it, that call is in infamy now, right? Like, that call is going to be talked about forever and always. That call is going to be talked about for years. I don't know if it's good or bad, right? I remember the cat. There's a dude that calls like minor league baseball somewhere, and his calls are so just absolutely bonkers. And people started kind of bagging on and making fun of his calls because they were just nerdy, terrible calls. And then one day, I want to say it was like the Yankees or somebody had an emergency. No, it was the All-Star game. It was the freaking All-Star game where the MLB didn't have a guy, and they called him, and they're like, hey, man, you're like super viral right now. Do you want to call the biggest baseball game of the year? And he was like, yeah, sure. Right? Worked out. Now, I don't know who that guy is or what he's done since then. But what a call. What a call. And by the way, I feel bad for the play-by-play guy because, and this is one of those things that makes you sound terrible to say it out loud, but it is what it is. If you are a color guy, you talk when the play-by-play guy is done calling the play. Let me finish the play. You're going to get your time in the sun. But let me finish the call of the play before you start screaming like an 80s wrestler coked up. Let me finish the call, man.
That sounded more like a Muppet.
Hurricane Jeff said that sounded like a couple of high school girls screaming at each other. Did you see what happened on General Hospital? All right, that's what? No, it sounded like two football bros being jacked up on Mountain Dew.
All I hear is cursing from the producer back at the station.
yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to fix that?
There's no way to
Knowing
fix
that
that.
the program director is going to come down and blame him for it.
No way to fix
Why couldn't we understand that? It was great audio. We couldn't understand it. It's all your fault because you don't know how to mix.
Probably because the color guy was on numerous uppers.
Why
bro.
you're blaming it on the color guy when it started coming inaudible, as he becomes inaudible. When he started screaming. When the screaming started, I mean, the color guy.
One guy screaming still works.
No. So what's the color guy supposed to do? He's supposed
Wait
to bring.
until the guy finishes the call. Oh, he wasn't breaking down the play. He was just going.
No, what they both did is they went straight up homer, which is what they are anyway. So I don't blame them for doing what they're doing. I just wish they could have did it more clear.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Don't you do it. Don't you give up on them Mountaineers, baby. Yes, sir. Let's take a break. Wes, hold the line. I'll get you straight out of the gate on the flip side. We'll take a look up and down the rest of the college and NFL games of the weekend. Give you some thoughts when we come back. JT and Greer said, Rob, if you were an App State fan, you would love that call because you would be yelling as well. Oh, don't get me wrong. It was hype.
I'm sure Diesel will play this later and cry.
The Rob Brown Show's on your radio. It's the Fan Upstate.
Bucks wideout Mike Evans inside.
Hey, it's DA. Be sure to listen to CBS Sports Radio at home. Ask Alexa to play CBS Sports Radio.
Hey listener, welcome to Lee Moo's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Please never stops. Hit it. There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's dub. Lemu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Lemu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Delete already. Come on. Yay, spinning wheel. We love spinning wheel. The wheels on the computer go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the computer go round, and it all comes crashing down. Good night, everybody. Come on. Ooh, that's spinning too. That's not good. Stop spinning. I do believe my computer is about to crash. There we go. Not the crash. We caught up. We're good. Until we try to delete the next thing. What in the world is going on? I can see where you're going there, Steven, but he was too high pitched to be Farmer Fran. Farmer Fran had some bass in there. I never. No. My phone thought I was talking to her. I'm not going to say her name, but it starts with an S. Start seeing smoke here pretty soon, then you will know that my computer has just decided to catch on fire.
Cool. You know it's sad but true.
When it catches on fire, I will do the Jimi Hendrix. I'm not wearing the shoes to kick you, computer, but I can go get like a bat or a hammer or something. It's like it's on delay. It's weird. We have arrived at hour number 3.
The third, the final, the best, the money hour of the Rob Brown Show goes now. This is the Fan Upstate. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Spectacular to be with you as always. I am Rob Brown. Directly across the glass from me, the Wizard of Wave himself, the great one Lonzo, is in charge of the radio broadcast today and always, except next week when he's out on vacation. A well-deserved vacation, I might say.
Deserved and needed are two totally different things, but I guess they can go. They can go hand in hand.
Yeah. Who's in with us next week?
T2.
T2 coming to hang. I like it.
No sports knowledge, but a lot of cool.
Here's my question.
No, I'm not willing to let him make my picks for me.
No, I was going to ask if you happen to fall in this week's Boo Box Bets, is he going to take the punishment for you?
No, because I would not do that to him. Even if he would stand up and go, you know what, I want to do this for you, boss. No, I wouldn't do that. No one's taking a bullet for me.
You may not have to take a bullet this week.
And he's taken enough punishment. So, I mean, he has faced the wall twice in a row.
He has. He escaped. I escaped this past, or was it last Saturday? Escaped by the hair on my chinny chin.
You didn't, though. You weren't next to last.
Oh, I wasn't?
I never said that. You just.
Oh, that's true.
It might have been.
Me last
it might have been for entertainment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eliminated me last so for those of you that don't know, once a month or so, I'll go sit on the Upstate Pulse with Lonzo, which airs from 7 to 9 Saturdays on WORD. It's a nerd show. It's a comic book, movies, video games, Dungeons and Dragons nerd show. So once a week I go sit in, and 2 weeks ago we started our new radio D&D campaign that I am running for the guys. Well, on that show, when wrestling pay-per-views come up, we all make our picks, and whoever picks the worst faces the Nerf wall, which is where Lonzo and his friends bring in a small armory of Nerf guns that shoot a variety of projectiles. One of you must stand against the wall and just be assaulted relentlessly by the rest of the host for, 30 seconds?
It's 30 seconds, yeah.
As many bullets as you can get off in 30 seconds. Our buddy Rob from Borderlands rolled up in there last month when I was in with a Nerf gun, and I've never seen or heard of this before, a Nerf mini gun, rail gun, that when he pulled the trigger, it has to warm up first. Yeah, it was bad. I thought I was in trouble last week. But T2 took the Nerf wall. He'll be in for Zoe next week on the show. What have we not gotten? Well, we'll just go down the scoreboard, give some thoughts. Say, what haven't we gotten to? The answer is, let me get Wes. I forgot. I am so sorry. Wes has been hanging on, is getting in here on the show. What's up, big fella?
Hey, I loved that call from App State. I'm going to tell you, when I heard it, what it reminds me of is hearing the replay of the reporter when the day the Hindenburg went down.
I can't say I've heard that call before. I'm assuming there's the calamity thrown in there somewhere, because that's how 20s people on the radio talked.
You ought to hear it. You ought to just go back and hear it. It's been in a few movies, because they've done the Hindenburg movie and all that. Now, I'm not old enough to be around when the Hindenburg went down, but it's just the replay. Just Google it.
Okay, well, thanks, Wes. By the way, the Hindenburg went down in 1937, not the 1920s. So just in case people out there are going to go, Rob, it wasn't the 1920s. You missed it by a little bit. And no, Wes wasn't old enough. Neither was I. But I have seen it quite a few times, and I have heard the call much more audible than this, though.
This was just
because it was a more civilized age of radio. There was no yelling and screaming. It was very calm and even on just about everything.
Look
So
at that, the death of hundreds playing out here in front of us as a giant ball of fire has erupted, and certainly you'll be talking about the loss of lives well into the hundreds over the next few days.
it appears the dirigible has exploded into flame, and people on the ground are running.
Is it bad? I want to hear that call now.
It is playing mayhem.
Is it bad during the break? I want to go listen to that call.
So we could find it, but you may have to take some training again if we play it on social media. Because you would think 1937, maybe it's all right, but yeah.
That call, that Appy State call, I've listened to it 3 times. I still don't know if I like it or hate it. There's part of me that loves it, right? Because home radio broadcasts, you're a fan, right? I'm a Burns guy now. I didn't go there, but I'm a Burns guy. I'm on the call. So I get hyped. And when the other team scores, you're like, throws across the middle, has a man 5 goal line touchdown, Wren, and that's going to put them back on the board. Burns with a little work to do on offense, right? Like, that's the away call. Last second, 57 yard tipped Hail Mary, yet you're going to get some juice out of the announcers. But these guys lost their friggin' marbles. It was amazing. Amazing. But at the same time, it's like, you know, the ball got tipped and caught and had no idea what happened after that because it was just a battering ram of sound against your ear holes. I don't know if I loved it or hated it. All right. Let's take a look up and down the rest of the top 25 scoreboard in college football. Georgia knocks off South Carolina 48-7. Clemson 48-20 winners over Louisiana Tech. 3 touchdowns in the third quarter. They allowed a pair of them in the fourth. Garbage time touchdowns late for La Tech. But I will say this, though. It was 13-6 at halftime of that game. 13-6 at halftime of that game. DJ finished the day 17 of 29, 221, and a pair of touchdowns. Cade went 2 of 5 for 19 yards in that game. Will Shipley, 12 carries, 139, and 2 touchdowns. DJ hauled it down 9 for 62 on the ground. Phil Maffa, 7 for 30. Adams Jr., 3 for 21. Kobe Pace, 4 for 10. Cade, 2 of 7. Through the air, La Tech, Parker McNeil, 23 of 42, 311, a touch and 2 interceptions. I don't know, Zoe. I'm not like, it's basically what I expected, right? There wasn't anything spectacular about the win for Clemson, but it's exactly the win we expected. It was a 28-point blowout. Maybe took them a little longer than I would have liked to establish the dominance across the line of scrimmage, but once they did, it was all over at that point.
The biggest disappointment for me, and it's been there for the last couple of weeks, is all the we need to start Cade people have nothing to say. They have nothing. I don't know what they're doing with their time. Maybe they're finding another fan base to go after. You lost to Georgia by 40. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. But the we need Cade people. They're silent. I haven't been on any Reddits or anything like you. Have you seen any of those Cade people anymore?
Not as much as I was 2 weeks ago. DJ looked fine. Like I said, it wasn't spectacular. It also wasn't bad at all. It was exactly what was expected. And hell, in college football, sometimes exactly what you expected is good. I will say this. I am looking at DJ's pass chart from Saturday, right? Lot of passes completed behind the line of scrimmage, which means Clemson is doing what they can to extend the field horizontally to open it up vertically. And a lot of passes behind the line, and the majority of the passes were within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. There were a few deep shots. Here's what blew me away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got, 9. I've got 9 dropped footballs. Now, a couple of them were really well contested by the Bulldog defense. But I got 9 dropped footballs. That's too many dropped footballs. That's too many dropped footballs. DJ was 5 of 5 behind the line of scrimmage to the left, 2 of 2 to the right. 1 for 1 to the left between the line of scrimmage and a 10-yard marker, 3 of 3 to the right. He was 3 for 5 deeper than 20 yards to the right, 1 of 5 deeper than 10 yards to the left. Should have had more down the middle, but had a couple of drops there. 2 of 6 over 20 yards to the right, 0 of 1 over to the left. Again, I'm not upset about it. Did he blow me away? Am I walking out of there like, oh, DJ took the next level? Took the next level, went to that. No, I don't think he did anything amazing. But he did more than enough. And I'll take that. Alabama, 63-7 winners over the University of Louisiana Monroe. Bryce Young, 13 of 18, 236, 3 touchdowns, but he did throw 2 picks in this game. Did throw a couple of picks. Alabama had 4 rushers with 42 yards or more. They allowed just 96 yards, actually 91 through the air because one of them went backwards 5. 91 rushing or passing yards, 78 rushing yards. That's a playoff caliber team. Ohio State dropped 77 on the Toledo Rockets. CJ Stroud, 22 of 27, 367, 5 touchdowns.
Very disappointed about that. Why didn't you score 100? I mean, there's got to be something going on with the program, something wrong. When you can't score 100 points on a Toledo team.
Allowed 183 through the air, 124 on the ground defensively did the Buckeyes, but they threw for 482 and they rushed for 281. That's a pretty good Buckeye team too.
Still a little too heavy on the pass there. I mean, we need more run yards.
280, not quite enough on the ground. Michigan 59-0 winners over a bad UConn team. J.J. McCarthy got the snap. 15 of 18, 214, but no touches, no picks. Explain this to me, Lonzo. You ready for the passing chart from Michigan? McCarthy, 15 of 18. McNamara, 1 of 1. Alan Bowman, 1 of 1. Brendan Mann, 1 of 1. Alex Orji, 1 of 1. Davis Warren, 1 of 2. Andy Maddox, 1 of 1. How do you have 9 guys that throw a pass? How many gadget plays did you run, Michigan?
A whole lot of Wildcat going on.
A lot of Wildcat going on. Everybody you get a Wildcat snap. You get a Wildcat snap. Blake Corum, 12 carries, 71 yards. Michigan ran for 192, threw for 273, gave up to UConn 24 passing yards and 86 rushing yards. Michigan's better than we gave them credit for at the beginning of the year. Lonzo won't say it, but I will.
I'm sorry, what?
I said Michigan's better than we gave them credit for.
What?
Sure. Another free money pick of the weekend. Explain to me how in the hell Nebraska was an 11-point underdog against Oklahoma. I made oodles of cash on this one. I had Oklahoma, and not just minus 11, Zoe. I teased it up to minus 18. Made some extra cash. Oklahoma just did whatever the hell they wanted to. Dylan Gabriel, 16 of 27, 230. They threw for 268. Oklahoma ran the ball, Lonzo, for 312 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns.
I thought Oklahoma lost their coach and all their quarterbacks and everything. How are they able to do this? Is Nebraska that bad?
Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Nebraska fired their defensive coordinator. They tarmacked him. They're like, you don't need to show up. You're good. Bye. Appreciate you.
Hey, Rob, is Matt Rule the answer there?
Carolina Panthers fans think he should be. We're going to talk about that later on in the week. USC 45-17 winners over Fresno State. Had a decent day through the air. Did Caleb Williams, 284 and a pair of touchdowns, 25 of 37. They also rushed for 233 with a pair of century mark runners. Austin Jones, 110 on 12 carries. Travis Dye, 102 on 11. Both of those guys had a touch. We had Oklahoma State how about the Cowboys beating up on Arkansas Pine Bluff 63-7. Spencer Sanders, 13 of 16, 242. How about this name for a quarterback? Gunnar Gundy, 12 of 20, 128, a pair of touchdowns. Sanders had 4. The Cowpokes ran for 168 and a touch as well. Youngstown State got blanked by Kentucky 31-0 in that one. Will Levis, 27 of 35, 377 and a pair of touchdowns. Did have 2 picks along as well. They also rushed for 103, the majority of them from Cavassier Smoke. My favorite name in college football going right now. 18 carries, 66 yards, and a touch for Cavassier. Missouri State, Arkansas. Missouri State, Lonzo, had the Hogs down 17-0 at one point. But 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns out of the Razorbacks put away former Arkansas coach Bobby Petrino. 38-27 your final. KJ Jefferson, 19 of 31, 385, 2 touches and a pick. Raheem Sanders ran for 167 on 22 carries, averaged north of 7.5 yards per carry. They had 2 punched in on the ground as well. Washington gets over on Michigan State. That was a trap line in Vegas. In fact, on Friday night, up at Ren High, I was going over the lines with Sam Clark and Lane Fowler. And I think Michigan State was only favored by like 2.5. And everybody's like, yo, what is this? This is easy money, right? Not so fast, my friend, said Lee Corso. 39-28, the Huskies over the Spartans. Michael Penix Jr., former Indiana quarterback, 24 of 40, 397, 4 touchdowns, no picks in that one. Also ran for $106 on the ground, did the Huskies. Oregon, 41-20 winners over number 12 BYU. Big upset there, too. If you wondered how good Georgia was, a 2-1 Ducks team that just blew out a top 12 team. Yeesh. Bo Nix, 13 of 18, 222, 2 touchdowns. Ty Thompson threw 1 as well. Marquise Irving, 14 carries, 97 yards for the Ducks. Miami versus Texas A&M. Zach Brown, I'm still waiting on you, brother. I'm still waiting for you, as the Canes offensively were garbage. A field goal in the first, third, and fourth quarters. 10 up on the board early for the Ags. They dropped another 7 in the third. Max Johnson, 10 of 20, 140 and a touch. Texas A&M's not that good, you guys. Like, everybody's like, uh-oh, is A&M better than we thought they were? No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not. 140 in the air, 124 on the ground. It's just that as good as Miami might be, Tyler Van Dyke, 21 of 41, 217. Mario Cristobal was a letdown in this game. The play calling was bad. It wasn't aggressive. I checked out the Hurricanes message boards on Reddit, and it was filled to the brim with Oregon fans like, LOL, told you. Told you. Overrated bad play calling. Either way, Aggies win that one. Jimbo Fisher's a fraud. Utah, 35-7 winners over San Diego State. Tennessee downs Akron, 63-6. Your final in that one. Hendon Hooker, 14 of 18, 298 and a pair of touchdowns. Joe Milton III, 4 of 5 for 112 and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Wright took 23 carries for 96 and a pair. Dylan Sampson had 8 for 57 and a pair on the ground as well. NC State wraps up Texas Tech 27-14. Baylor 42-7 winners over Texas State. Florida USF, my goodness. Lonzo, reports of the Gators' reemergence into relevance may have been slightly exaggerated. USF was a screwed up field goal hold away from beating the Gators.
You hate to see it happen from such a prestigious organization as the Florida Gators to be going downhill like this and excite all their fans into thinking that they were back, and they're not back.
Gator fans thought that they turned the corner. Instead, they needed everything they had and some help from the Bulls of South Florida to escape the swamp with a dub. Richardson, 10 of 18, 112, 2 picks, no touchdowns. He also ran 7 for 24 yards.
Did Florida storm the field afterwards?
They didn't, but you'd have thought they were close. You'd have thought they were close. This Florida team looked bad, dude. It just looked bad. USF gave them everything they wanted. Jerry Bohannon, 12 of 28, a butt 16 through the air. Brian Batty rushed for 150 yards. Bohannon ran at 15 for 102 and a touch. Batty had one for a touch as well. USF, late in the game, was driving. They had a loss of about 15 yards because a shotgun snap went up over Bohannon's head, and he had to scramble to get it back. Then they got the ball back in the field goal range. Beautiful snap, and the holder, Lonzo, put the ball down long ways on the ground. I was like, they do it weird in Australia, I guess. And he still almost made the kick, by the way. He kicked a flat football, and he's still not like Tom Brady flat, like it was laid down on the ground flat. And he still almost made it to go to OT. Florida did not look good. Wake Forest 37-36 winners over Liberty. Ole Miss 42-0. They blanked Georgia Tech. Texas 41-20 puts away UTSA. Penn State downs Auburn 41-12. And Pitt catches a 34-13 win over Western Michigan. There's your college football scores. When we come back, let us take a look at the NFL scoreboard because the NFL yesterday afternoon was freaking wild, dude. So we'll run those down next. Rob Alonzo, the Rob Brown Show's on your radio. It's the Fan Upstate.
Resma.
The Rob Brown Show back on your radio. It is the Fan Upstate. Rob Alonzo and you. Texter said, Rob, I guess Anthony Richardson isn't winning the Heisman. No, I guess not. I have not seen a drop-off like week 1 Anthony Richardson to week 2 and 3 Anthony Richardson in a minute. He could, like I said, in the wrongest thing that I've said on this radio broadcast all year. Oh, y'all, Anthony Richardson's going to be in New York at the end of the year. He might be, but he's going to be like watching a play on Broadway or something because he won't be at the Heisman reception. What the hell happened to that guy? Back in week 1 against Kentucky, against Utah, that dude looked lights out, like he looked untouchable. And then that was bad. Let's take a look down the NFL scoreboard real quick. Oh, let me get Will in here. Will in Bowling Springs said, hey, I'm right here, buddy. I still don't want DJ. Like, why, Will? What is he doing?
He didn't win the national championship last year.
Like, I'm running out of reasons that Lonzo making fun of you isn't actually correct, right? Like, what did DJ do wrong that you still don't want that guy as your QB right now?
He didn't win the national championship last year.
He's not Travis. He's not Trevor.
He ain't Cade either.
I mean, Cade's had his spots. It's not like he came in and blew up the world, right? I don't get it. Pair of Monday Nighters, 7:15 kickoff, Titans and Bills. Lonzo will be eyeballs on that one hard. Bills minus 9.5. They got to win by 10 or better against Tennessee. If they do, Lonzo takes his 3rd consecutive L. If they do not, then we will have a draw and there will not be a loser this week.
All right. Should I go sound down or should I see if the Josh Allen thing continues? I think it's a different network this time, isn't it?
It's like watching a young Tom Brady out there.
It's not Collinsworth tonight, right? Who's on the Monday Night Football?
ESPN, so this will be...
There's 2 broadcasts. So I don't know if it's going to be number 1 or number 2
This
team.
is the first one. So let's see.
See, they make it sound like the first and second, but I mean, that first game's not going to be over before that second game starts.
Tonight for Titans Bills, we will get Steve Levy on play-by-play with Louis Riddick and Dan Orlovsky. In the analyst role, Laura Rutledge will be sideline reporter.
All right. So is Orlovsky going to go Josh Allen? He does have the potential to do that.
Josh Allen.
Hopefully Louis Riddick will bring him back a little.
I could see Orlovsky getting into it. Vikings, Eagles at 8:30. For our Sunday games, Bucks down the Saints 20-10. Jameis, listen, and I complain because the officiating.
Was it 3-0 at halftime? Am I wrong about that?
It was 3-3.
Wait. The greatest of all time was on the field, and it was only 3-0.
Look, that was, for the record, in regular season games. Tom Brady is now 1 and all the rest of them against the Saints. What is he, 1-6 now?
Which is why I thought that it would continue, and I was wrong.
It was 3-3 at the end of the third quarter.
And you bet against your team because you are so afraid
of going Mad World. That is correct. Mom called me after the show, and she's like, "You little turncoat." I'm like, "Mom, I told you." Here. Let me let you all in on the background. There was a point where I got. There was a point when I got like 2 weeks in, where I thought to myself, and I didn't say this out loud because I knew it would offend him, but I'll tell you now for the sake of the story. There's a point where I'm like, look, if because Lonzo was like, I'm going to lose all of them. And I was like,
I sounded just like that too.
Yeah, he did. I was like, you know what? If Lonzo loses 4 in a row, right? Because we said if somebody loses 5 in a row, we're out. I said if Lonzo loses 4 in a row, I'm going to throw a week. I'm going to take the risk and throw a week so that we can keep the game going for 5 more weeks.
I'm pretty sure you tried to throw this week, but
I did not. What do you mean try to throw it? I won. Well, I haven't lost.
Look at you. Love that confidence.
Let me tell you what happened. I said to myself a number of weeks ago when the 5 straight L's ends the bit rule came out, that if Lonzo lost 4 in a row, I would throw a week I would intentionally botch a week so that the game would go on for 5 more weeks. I only got to do that at most twice to get through the season.
So you don't think that week 5, I'm going to try my best to throw it? So if we're both trying to throw it.
Rob wins 2-1. I said I was going to botch a week. And then a week and a half ago, somebody suggested that if Rob loses, Mad World goes in the boo box. And I was like, no. I will now do everything I can to decimate whoever is on the other side of the picks. Because I don't want to do it.
I will say this, that my wife is on the edge of wanting me to just quit radio if I have to wear something Michigan.
Oof.
Yeah, it was not. She did not know that was in there, and she is not. She's not happy.
Oof. Trey said Mad World has a badge Rob can get so they don't scare him. You think for a second Lonzo's going to let me get away with that? Not only will that not happen, Trey, the opposite's going to happen where Lonzo and Courtney and Captain America Chris Evans down the hall who said, I will leave my pregnant wife at home to go experience this. Half the people that work here who know my hatred of the jump scare are going to go that night, and they all know the guy that runs the joint. So they're going to be like, hey, big dog, see the tall guy over there in the flat bill hat? He's our VIP.
All right, so if you are to lose, which I don't think you're going to, I'm going to lose 5 in a row and it's over. But if you were to lose, it's going to be more than half this building going.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Because I'm going to make sure that I let everybody know and rally everybody to be there
Can't wait.
for support for you, because it's an ordeal. You're going to be facing your fear, so to speak, and you know, we're going to be there to support you.
You'll be able to watch that on the live stream from 90% of the people who live in Greenville who come to watch it happen. Tom Brady, 18 of 34, 191 touchdown and a 79 QBR. First time he's been held to less than 200 passing yards by the Saints, but it is also his first regular season win against New Orleans since he arrived in Tampa. He's now 1-6. Jameis Winston, 25 of 40, 236, 1 TD, 3 interceptions.
Should we start keeping track of how many tablets are thrown and put that in Tom Brady's stats?
He gets his own category.
Yeah, I think you should. You know.
Rob winning these bets like Cena wins matches. 5 picks of doom, baby. Panthers fall to the Giants 19-16. We broke that one down earlier. If you missed it, go to Facebook.com/The Rob Brown Show or Facebook.com/TheFanUpstate or TheFanUpstate.com. You can pull the podcast from anywhere and listen to that breakdown. Jets 31-30 winners over the Browns. Joe Flacco is elite. 307 through the air, 4 touchdowns.
Excuse me if I'm wrong, Rob Brown, but Joe Flacco has been paid like he's elite.
He is elite.
So that means he's elite,
He's
right?
elite. 26 of 44, 307, 4 touchdowns, no INTs in that one. Brissett was 22 of 27, 229, 1 touch, 1 pick. Not a bad day for him either. The Detroit Lions hammer on the Washington Commanders. Bum, 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 bum. 36-27, your final in that one. How do you feel if you are Carson Wentz and you go 30 of 46 for 337, 3 touchdowns, and lose the game? Woof.
You probably feel like you're Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Probably not unfair. Carson Wentz. Also elite. Just ask his paycheck. Ask his accountant. 17-14. The Patriots knock off the Steelers. Mac Jones, 21 of 35 and a touchdown. Remember, he had been playing with some banged up ribs. He went 1 touch, 1 pick. So did Mitchell Trubisky, 21 of 33, 168, a touch and a pick to go in that one. Ladies and gentlemen, Trevor Lawrence and your Jacksonville Jaguars not just got a win this weekend, but a shutout victory over Matt Ryan and the Colts. Matty Ice, 16 of 30, 195, 0 touchdowns, 3 picks. On the other side, TL16, 25 of 30, 235, and 2 touchdowns, no picks.
All right, do it. You can't talk about Jacksonville without cracking on Urban Meyer.
Duval! This is the team that Herb couldn't coach. The team that brought Jonathan Taylor and Matt Ryan to town and kicked them square in the buttocks, sir. Good win by the Jags. Blanking the Colts. Dolphins, Ravens. Y'all, if you haven't watched this football game, go get your NFL Plus subscription and watch it. 42-38. Jalen Waddle and the NFL's most accurate quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. Tua went 36 of 50, 469, and 6 touchdowns. They had 86 total rushing yards, 461 through the air. Lamar went 21 of 29, 318, 3 touchdowns. He ran for a $119, including a 79-yard touchdown run as well. Lonzo, the Miami Dolphins might be for real. Tua might be for real. My goodness. What a show.
It's week 2, right?
It is.
Okay, all right. I'm just.
But the Dolphins have won both of those 2.
They have.
31-27 Rams knock off the Falcons and cost me a beer in the process. The Rams had the Falcons down 21-3 at halftime, let them put up 17 in the fourth and kept Lonzo alive in the picks.
I was going to say, the Falcons helped me out.
Yeah, they did.
Or I would already be heading towards the box.
That is correct. Matt Stafford, 27 of 36, 272, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Mariota, 17 of 27, 196, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Not a lot going on the ground for Atlanta. Less than 100 yards rushing total, but the Rams only rushed for 65. By the way, once again, asking the question, where the hell is Cam Akers? 15 for 44 yards. Not great. 49ers down the Seahawks, 27-7. Geno, 24 of 30, 197, pardon me. The Cowboys pick off what is going on? What the hell is going on with Cincinnati? I'll tell you what's going on. It's real quick. It's real easy. The offensive line is so bad that Joey Ice is running for his life every time he touches the football.
I like how you went right past the 49ers game without the story of the 49ers game.
That's true. Trey Lance is done.
He is done.
Broke his ankle. And wouldn't you know it, who's the backup in San Francisco?
And Jimmy G comes in and wins the game.
Smoked it.
Wow. That's amazing. So is this good foresight by San Francisco, or did they just get lucky?
No, they did not trust that Lance was the guy. They had to make the move because they drafted the guy, so they felt like they had to make the move. But they didn't trust that Lance was going to do it. By the way, I don't put Trey Lance's performance last week against the Bears as a knock on him. Did you see what they had to do the field between every snap?
It was a lot of water. It absolutely was a lot of water.
There's a mic'd up segment you can find on.
The Bears had to play in that water too, though.
But it's easier on defense than quarterback.
Okay, you're right.
Easier to be a defender when you're playing in a 3-inch deep swimming pool.
I played in the monsoon before.
Gross.
It is not. It's especially when it's cold rain, everything hurts.
Yeah, gross. It sucks. Football sucks in the rain. That is why, by the way.
Football's fun in the rain.
No,
did you see what Justin Fields did sliding across that? Oh, that was amazing.
Football
you didn't want to
sucks
do
and
that.
is stupid in the
Just
rain.
a 100-yard slip and slide? You don't want to do that?
Nope, no. I want to see who the best football team is.
You did.
Not who has the most water aerobic activities.
The best team in the rain won.
Yeah. Joe B, 24 of 36, 199, 1 touchdown picks. And I have gotten screwed because that's my fantasy quarterback. Ugh. Broncos 16, Texans 9, Russell Wilson 14 to 31, 219 and a touch. Cardinals 29-23 in OT. They walk off Raiders, and Kyler Murray got slapped in his face by a Raiders fan.
Allegedly. There's no video.
I saw it. Yeah, there is.
Oh, you saw the video? You got
yeah.
you got to show that to me later.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I want to see Kyler Murray get hit, but
Kyler was somebody
I
come
just
over
need
here.
confirmation.
Kyler was like, somebody come over here and get on your knees so I can stand on your back and get into the crowd. He got slapped in the face. Look, I would make jokes. You can't let that happen. That guy's got to get banned for life. And last night, A-Rod of the football persuasion and his Packers blew out the Bears 27-10. Who the hell thought that was going to be a game? It was never going to be a game.
Hey, Aaron says relax, dude.
Don't do it when you want. Fan.
Shroons, bro.
Texter says, good luck to the Panthers after losing the games they were supposed to win. Yeah, they should be 2-0. They are 0-2. That's it. Check out the Views from Mint Street podcast, and you'll hear how mad I am about it. Texas said, I thought the Bengals O-line was supposed to be better. It was. It is not.
Maybe they are better. Which is sad.
Hot garbage. Hot garbage. My name is Rob Brown. That's Alonzo. We got one segment left on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate.
No, there's almost nothing in his box tray because it's all work and he knew he was going to win every week. I am a victim here. In truth, there's nothing in his box because I haven't had the opportunity to put anything in his box yet because he hasn't lost. When he does, I will fill out the strips and put them in the box if he loses, but I probably ain't writing.
Sure. Oh, I'm not going to say it because it's probably on Twitter.
Thank you. Whatever it is, thank you.
Geico presents Daily Affirmations. Repeat after me. Our thoughts are like the ocean. Our thoughts are like the ocean. Our thoughts create our reality. Our thoughts create our reality. Rethinking. Geico offers claim service 24/7 with personalized attention from an assigned team. Geico offers claim service? I wasn't thinking that. We think it and it becomes our reality. So, what about washboard abs? Let's give it a go. Think really hard. Keep thinking. To manifest more Geico in your life, go to geico.com.
So can I pick something opposite of what Rob was going to spoil for Twitter? Hope you're right, Trey, because that will save me. It will save both of us because he won't lose, but I won't lose. It becomes a tie.
I've been wrong about everything else this week.
I'm Andy, and every morning I wake up thinking about shaving. When I started Harry's almost a decade ago, the shaving industry was
wake up thinking about shaving.
Of all the multitudinous manifestations that water can take, in oceans and ice caves, in glaciers and streams, vapors and rain, double black diamonds, lap spoons, and brains. Of all that water everywhere, only 0.5% is fresh water available for human use. That's why at Moen, we're innovating to save 1 trillion gallons of water by 2030. Discover Mission Moen at Moen.com.
This afternoon, warm with plenty of sun, high of 87.
Brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Your neighborhood Ashley store has all the styles, selection, and value you'll need to invite fall in this season. Find furniture you'll love by shopping locally or visit ashley.com today.
All right, time for Twitter trending topics, where I tell Rob what is trending on the internet. He tells us why the first thing that's trending is White Rabbit.
So there's a lot of thought in WWE. The last couple of nights, they've been doing this thing where they've turned off all the lights and played White Rabbit by Jefferson Air Vehicle of Choice, Airplane.
I believe at the time it was.
Starcraft.
I believe at the time that was the plane.
Whatever it was.
Jefferson Airplane.
And there are folks that think this is pointing towards a return of Bray Wyatt to the WWE, but also forget that for a while Karrion Kross came out to that song. So who the hell knows? I hope it's Bray. I hope Bray's back. I miss Bray.
Well, Karrion Kross is not going to come out to that song anymore because he's able to use their original song that they've been using again.
Yeah.
Why would you go away from that when you finally got all your stuff back? I hope it's Bray Wyatt. I know that Triple H had talked about, he was on with Ariel Helwani and was talking about some of the people that he would like to bring back. And he talks about how creative Bray Wyatt is and that, of course, they would love to possibly have him back. All right, the next thing that's trending is Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Is that today?
Apparently it's today.
National Talk Like a Pirate Day, because every day needs a day. It sure is. Monday, September 19th is International Talk Like a Pirate Day, created back in 1995 by John Bauer, who went by Old Chum Bucket, and Mark Summers, who called himself Captain Slappy of Albany, Oregon. Those of you who don't mind dropping an R in there, today's your day to shine.
My favorite line from a video game of all time, these eyes. Every time you missed a shot on the black flag trying to shoot some other ship.
Phenomenal game, by the way.
Yes, it was.
Phenomenal game.
It was, still is. All right, we got time for one more. David Tepper is trending. I don't know why.
Because people want him to get rid of the team. Because there are a lot of Panthers fans who kind of put this at his feet, right? Like, they're upset because Matt Rule is still not working out. He's 0-2. This is supposed to be the big rebuild year, and it's not. And they feel like he kind of doesn't have the rocks to make the hard decisions to make the team better. Go to the podcast supplier of your choice and grab the Views from Mint Street podcast. Make sure you are subscribed. Download old episodes. We got episodes dropping every week throughout the week. If you're a Carolina Panther fan, it is the podcast you must have. It's hosted by Lonzo Reitzel. And also, I'm there.
No, Lonzo.
Reitzel.
Thank you.
Reitzel. Lorenzo Reitzel. That's it for us, kids. Jim Rome's got you next. Mark Ryan's up at 3. Tomorrow, we'll get a little bit deeper, put some distance between us and the games of the weekend. Take a little analytics look. Have a great one. It's the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate. Later, brother. All right, ladies and gents, thank you all for watching.